Welcome to a new short update on the altcoins. Right now the markets are heating up. We've seen Bitcoin going to 30k. We see that Solana is up to a new yearly high. Injective is breaking out again. And we've seen that Chainlink is fighting the resistance all over again. So in this update, I'm going to give you my view on the altcoins. Next week, I'm going to give you my updates on the altcoin portfolio, which if you join the Discord, you can find it over there. We've just been hitting take profits on Chainlink. Also, we're going to start our own consultancy in asset management. From November 1st, we are onboarding clients. We can trade assets for you, or we can assist you, or you can just book hours and just learn more about trading. Everything we do in the consultancy and asset management. And if you want to become one of us in the terms of the asset management, make sure to check out the website where you can fill in the form or reach out to me in the DM and we can assist. Now, this video is sponsored by Bitfavo, which is my exchange where I DCA my investments. It's a super easy exchange where you can get 10 euros for free and 10,000 euros free trading if you sign up through my link. I'm using it for the DCA. You can also stake it over there. An easy gateway between your bank and crypto. Now, when we are looking at the altcoins, we are looking at a case where the Bitcoin dominance is still trending up. And the Bitcoin dominance trending up is primarily because of Ethereum against Bitcoin currently showing weakness, which if we get that chart going, you can see here it's currently tanking towards new lows. I think we continue to have a little bit of that. I was expecting to actually bottom out earlier, but we continue to make lower highs, lower lows. So as a matter of fact, that is a reason that we are continuing to have the fall. How far are we going to get? Well, if you look at Ether against Bitcoin and at seasonality, I think that this downwards period is going to last until December. Which means that somewhere in December you will be finding your entries around this level. This is proven to be wrong if we flip the level that we have here at 0.06. So in this area, I think that you should be getting yourself positioned into Ether. That doesn't mean that other altcoins cannot make movements at this point. But Ether against Bitcoin is something that you should be aware of. In the fact that if we get somewhere in this region, the RSI is going to hit the level we've seen in August of 2019, September 2019, and probably is going to mark the actual low of the entire cycle. Because at that point, money is going to switch between Bitcoin to Ether. So right now, the core focus is on Bitcoin, which means the Bitcoin ETF fake news caused everyone to be aware of the fact that the ETF is most likely going to come. So people start buying into the actual asset. Then we have the refilings of the actual applications, which is also pushing the markets towards Bitcoin more and more, through which we can see that people switch between Ether to Bitcoin and that the actual ROI is currently being made in Bitcoin. So the markets are waking up. The sentiment is switching and the markets are waking up in a way that also different or some altcoins start to trend with Bitcoin. Some of them are Solana, Injective, Chainlink that have seen a relatively calm year that are currently starting to trend with Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin has finished its run, that's when Ether starts to pace up. That's when the other altcoins start to pace up. And we're getting close to it. So what we are expecting at this point, I think a little bit more upside on the Bitcoin dominance. I'm not expecting like 65% to reach, but at least we're going to get a little bit more upside, through which it's a little bit different than the previous cycle in the sense that we are later in the upwards run, and we are also seeing the ETFs at this point. The cycle will still have similarities, and Bitcoin is the one that needs to run first before we can anticipate a case of Ethereum to follow through. Now, Bitcoin is currently facing the resistance zone that we see at 32k, right? So probably it's gonna stay like this, or it's gonna have some more upwards correction, another test, and then we start to break out all the way towards 45 to 48k, have something like this and consolidate before we continue the bull. That is my utmost most likely scenario that we're going to see. Probably pre-halving, we peak at approximately 50k. Then we correct towards 34k, and then we start to have another case of sideways action, which we also have seen in the previous cycles. So we've got something like this, where we run, breaks out, retest, and then we continue to run. Not sure whether we're going to have the retest, but it seems very likely that late 2024, beginning 2025, we start to break the all-time high, and then the actual massive bull cycle starts to take place. And if you look at this aspect, this peak is higher than this peak, so probably we're going to have a peak high to 200 to 300k. Anyway, at this point, I think we're going to consolidate a little bit more, so altcoins will have their momentum, specifically Chainlink, Solana. But at the moment we break 32k, it's going to blast towards here, and that's when the real party starts to happen. Run to here, correction, further correction, and here is the moment where the altcoins start to shoot off. And here, with this break off, that's when ETH against Bitcoin starts to rally as well. Now, having some altcoins in your portfolio is not bad, because if you look at things like Chainlink, Chainlink is currently making itself ready for the breakout out of the range. And you can say it's probably going to reject again. The thing is, right now people have been looking at shorting this level for many times, and it has been successful. So above these highs, there will be a ton of shorts ready to be stopped out, and a lot of people buying into Chainlink to get themselves enthusiastic and to get themselves positioned, because if it starts to break out, something similar we've been seeing in the previous bear market, when we start to break out, it's going to have a substantial rally, and we start to have the actual bull cycle. They start earlier than you suspect, and they run higher than you expect too, because in the previous time we went from 20 cents to $52. Right now we're at $8, but once we start to break this level, we can suspect we're going towards $14. So the retest has been done with Chainlink at this point. We have been seeing $7 kicking in. Now, when we're looking at some more altcoins at this stage, Chainlink is also making higher lows in the Bitcoin pair. So right now we are making higher lows, higher highs, so through which the actual arguments are made that we continue the actual upside from here, and we can start expecting a rally towards 4,400 sats. Some other altcoins that I've been looking at, for instance, Anchor, it's currently facing a potential breakout. If it starts to break out, it's comparable to this period, and I'm suspecting we are rallying towards 26 cents. It's a short update today. I'll be back, and I promise on Tuesday with longer updates. I'm going to shift my YouTube a little bit. Make sure to join the Discord if you follow my altcoin portfolio. Ciao.